Hey guys, Dan Hood, Big DH2000 here. I use trim router a lot, but I mount it on a table upside down. So a lot of times I have to pull it apart to clean it a bit because the dust gets down into it. No matter, I've tried several brands, they're all susceptible to this because they're mainly designed to be upright with some upside down. So anyway, I've pulled mine apart here and I'm going to show you how I've already cleaned it, but I'm going to show you what I normally do, okay? So here it goes. First off, there's a you take all these screws off and then there's a plate that goes here, okay? You take that off and then watch out because the spring will pop out here when you take it apart. Just take it apart like that. Here it is. Now the places you need to clean, okay? I'm using an air compressor. It's going to be a little noisy, so get ready, okay? Watch. I clean in the motor. And if you hit the fan just right, there's a fan to cool it in there. It'll spin the thing to tell you how clean it is and how rough it's running. Get it over here. The other thing I do is I lift it up, okay, just gently, and right around here and right down in there, a lot of dust collects, and you can see where the dust has collected and caused some rough spots when things have spun a little or didn't spin the correct way or something like that. That's just wear and tear from using it. Get down in here really good, okay? And down around here. I've already done it, so I won't subject you to more air compressor noise. Then just set that thing back in there, okay? Let me get rid of the air hiss so you guys can hear, okay? Now, simply put, this goes right back on top, okay? First order of business. See, I keep all the parts in one little container. Now, most of the screws are the same size, but you can see there's two little ones, okay, two extra tiny ones. Put those to the side. They go with the spring that goes on here. The spring goes on there, okay? And then there's this little plate. Don't put this on now. Put some of these other screws back in, okay? At least two of them, somewhere near the top. Okay, I've got my little... Okay, I just got it set. I'm not holding it too tight. You'll see that when it gets down there, it twists my hand a little bit. That's what I want it to do. I know it's tight then, okay? Now I'm trying to remember exactly how this goes. Oh, that's right. See, even me having taken this apart several times, I'm still a little messed up with how this all goes together. Okay. No, it's not like that. That's right. Sorry. I forget. This goes in. This goes in first, okay? For those who don't know, but you got to put it together. It's spring loaded. This is the little button that locks the shaft on you, okay? It's a little tricky to get it together. You know, you see I've put it together here, okay, with the spring where it needs to be. I can't remember which way, whether I've got this in the correct way or not. Let me just, no, turn around this way, okay? You see what I just did there? Goes like that, okay? Then there's a slot there, and then you have to make sure, you see the plastic button, you have to make sure it's the knobs. Well, guys, I obviously did it wrong because it's not fitting, which this thing is merciless. Okay, so now I've turned it around. You kind of got to squeeze. You can't squeeze it all the way because unless you got the shaft lined up perfectly. But there you go. Okay, you see how that popped in? This is this way. You can make sure that it does lock. And now you've got that in. Don't lose it. 2 little screws. You just need to get one in to keep it from falling apart. Okay, there you go. Now you can relax a little. Tightened. And now you literally now the trick is to remember to tighten them all. Okay, so I have a systematic approach. I start from the bottom and I work my way up. Okay, okay, this one. Now just to make sure, yep. Just to make sure these are still tight, yep. Now let's work our way through this one. Okay. Now, you guys notice I got almost a 1.5 inches worth of throw on this screwdriver. That's what makes it work. Okay. It's all together. Put the battery back on, lay it down. Hold on, let's remove this just to be on the safe side. Okay, remove the router bit. Should have probably done that before I started all of this. Okay. Always suggest people not just finger tighten, but because at the speeds it's twisting, this could pop off. Make sure that sometimes this button doesn't work so well. Okay, I don't use it very often. Make sure it's free and clear. Okay, safety shield, and turn it on. You can, let's bring this up. You can see that it runs a little rough. I learned to clean this when it had gone past when it should be cleaned. So my advice to everybody is, especially if you use these upside down like this a lot, I'd say about every 50-60 man hours or operational hours, clean it. I probably went almost 200, and now I've got some permanent damage, which is fine. I'll buy another router unit eventually. See, I use these so much that having 2 or 3 laying around the shop, you know, 1 or 2 that are beat up a little bit, it's good to have them, because then you're not as concerned about using them in situations which might destroy them, because they're already 3/4 destroyed, and then keep the nicer one for the nicer work. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I've ended up going with these, just because it's the batteries that cost a fortune on these things, not the actual routers. So having 2 or 3 of the tools, it's not that big of a problem. But anyway, that's how I clean it. My only advice to you guys is get in and clean the thing more often than I did initially. Now I clean them regularly. But anyway, hope this helps. And no, this is I'm not sponsored by anybody. You guys can see I don't even monetize my YouTube channel. So don't think somebody paid me to talk about this mess. I just do it. Okay? Appreciate all of you who watch. Hope you guys enjoy this video, or at least know how to clean your router in the future. Because the one thing I did prove, which you guys may have seen, is the bearing is clean on this. So it's just the motor that's got a little rattle to it. So if it was the bearing, I'd buy a new bearing and replace it, and that would be the end of it. But since it's the motor that's rattling a bit, not much you can do about that, because the motor's almost the same price as buying a new one. Anyway, take care, guys.